Hey Fusion fam, today we're making these soft, fluffy, light and airy spinach brioche buns, all in the air fryer. They're perfect for sandwiches. Let's get started. Let's get into it. Here we have all my stuff prepped and ready to go. We have my flour, which we're going to be using two different flour. We're using bread flour and all-purpose, a mix of bread flour and all-purpose flour. The recipe will be in the description. Okay, I sift my flour together in that bowl. So we're gonna start out with our flour, sift flour. Okay, nice and airy buns, that's what we're going for. Nice and airy soft buns. So we want to make sure we do all the necessary things to get that texture that we're looking for, that airiness. Here we have some turmeric, which we're going to use that to enhance the color of the spinach. We have some active yeast because I just want to use the active yeast so I don't have to do the process of activating my yeast. And of course in that also is some salt. And we're going to incorporate all of these ingredients to make sure they're perfectly even in the mixture. Okay, so just give it a little whisk, a little whisk, a little whisk. Okay, and when you're done whisking, we're going to be pouring. For my spinach, what I did was I blended my milk with my spinach. I blended a portion of my milk with my spinach. Now, because for the active yeast, you do need warm milk. I only put a portion of my milk with the spinach to blend it, to give it that green color. And then I made my milk hot. So when the blender was done, I went ahead and added to the mixture and it cooled down because it needs to be warm, not hot. Okay, so we're adding egg yolk, just the yolk, just one egg yolk. Okay, because that's going to help with the texture of our buns. Some honey for sweetness. You can do sugar if you choose to. I chose honey. Then I'm using a mixture of oil and softened butter, unsalted butter, softened. Okay, when we put all that together, we're just gonna mix it, incorporate it until we have a soft textured dough, not sticky but soft textured. So you incorporate all the liquids with the flour mixture to combine the ingredient. As you're doing that, let me go back to the milk. I use powdered milk, so I use hot water. So I got my boiling water, I mixed my milk, then I took a portion from that mixture to blend my spinach. The spinach, I blanched it just a little bit. You probably can skip that step. I blanched it a little bit before I blended it. And then because the water with the milk with the spinach had the water tapered, I now added that back to my hot milk and it tapered it down to warm milk, because you need warm milk, at least 110 temperature. Okay, but the milk has to be warm to activate that yeast to get that puff, that rise that we're going to be looking for to give us that airiness in that bun. Okay, here we got it all done. The mixture is good to go. See, it's not sticky. It is moist but not sticky. Okay, then I'm going to knead. Okay, for the people who are not using your hand like I did, 5 minutes and you should be done with this process. If you put all the mixture in your stand mixer, 5 minutes and everything should be incorporated, kneaded and everything done. Skip this process. But for whoever is doing it the old school way like I had to, This is going to take you a little bit more time, a little bit more energy, but it's cool because it can be done. Okay, here I'm going at it. Okay, you need to be kneading this dough for at least 8 to 10 minutes. Don't overmix, don't over knead. And there we have it. Now at the end, my camera got all screwed up, so I missed out the step of how I oiled it after I was done kneading it, and I placed it in an oiled bowl and covered it so it can have the first rise. Okay, but nonetheless, I'll walk you through that since my camera was doing the most during this film. There you go. Now, I'm not the best at this kneading thing, but guess what? It did the job, and the buns, perfecto. So even if you're not the best, just do what you do, and I rest assured it will come out just perfect. Making sure that everything is incorporated, no dry spots. Making sure the dough is nice and moist. And here we go. After the first rise, uncover, 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 boom. There you go. The dough rose to the occasion, okay? All right, and voila. Look at that color. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? And no, it's not food coloring. It is colored by a food, but it's not artificial. Hallelujah. So there you go. We have this beautiful green, lime green bun, which is so so beautiful in color, perfect color. It's the color I was going for, actually, and it's beautiful. Here we just gonna give it a little knead and then roll it out so we can divide it up into bun portions. There we go. Here I divided it into, I think it was 6 or 5. Nonetheless, at the end, I ended up with 7 buns. 7 buns. So it depends on how big you want your buns or how tiny you want your buns. If you just want smaller buns, you can get a lot more. This was just like a regular bun size that I got 7 out of this recipe. Now I'm gonna form the little balls to make those buns, and of course I am going to be using my air fryer to bake these. Yes, my air fryer. Yes, my air fryer. But if you don't have an air fryer, your oven is going to still do the magic, so do not worry about it. The instructions for your oven will also be in the description underneath the recipe, and all the instructions will be in the description. So here I'm just forming these little balls. I'm making it as smooth as possible, as round as possible. No lines, just a round ball, so I can get a nice smooth finish on my buns. Look at that. Beautiful, huh? Those colors. Ay, that green is just so beautiful. There you go. And please take time with your buns, okay? Take time, give it love. Enjoy the process. So here I have my air fryer all ready, and if you notice, I had 2 different air fryer in the one video because I had to switch out my air fryer, but nonetheless the job was done and the buns were amazing. So in my air fryer, it's a 6-quart air fryer, so I can hold 4 buns at a time without overloading my air fryer. Okay, so I covered it to get the final rise. There you go. It's risen. to the occasion again. And voila, it is done. Here I'm only going to put some butter. As it's still hot, I'm just brushing it with some butter. My butter is unsalted, but you can use your salted if that's what you have. But look at those buns. Look at the outer color, light golden color. Not burnt. Can you imagine using an air fryer to make such beautiful colored buns? Well cooked through and through. Beautiful. Beautiful. And there we have it. Look at these beautiful buns. Look at that. Look at that. It's light. It's airy. Look at that bounce back. Look at that bounce back. Look at that bounce back. The trick to this is when you do your final rise, let it sit a little bit longer. I'll give you the exact amount of time that I allowed mine to sit, so you can be patient with it. And for the big reveal of the interior, let's go. What? Look at that. Look at that beautiful color on the inside. Nice, soft on the outside. It is so bouncy. Look at that thing. Wow, beautiful. And there you have it. Don't forget, if you try this recipe, to let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss another fusion recipe.